Good day, my friends. Modern miracles of multiplication. We all know that Jesus multiplied the fishes and the loaves, but did you know that there are modern miracles that take place? First one I'm telling here is by Father Jim Blunt. He was a 19-year-old monk in St. Leo's Monastery in the middle of nowhere in Florida. There were 35 monks there, and every day they brought the ciborium out with 35 consecrated hosts. But on this particular day, there was a Catholic football camp camping up the road. They had no idea, but these young lads wanted to come down to Mass. 650 of them marched in to the monastery. They only had 35 consecrated hosts in the ciborium. Father Jim Blunt prayed to the Lord, saying, Lord, these young men, they need you. They need your body and blood. Please help us. Father Tom issued Holy Communion from the ciborium with the 35 hosts. And what do you think? Yes, each one of those lads received Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. And so did the monks. And when they put the ciborium back on the altar, there were still more consecrated hosts left over. A miracle of multiplication in our time. And there are a lot more. St. John Vianney ran out of flour in the girls' school. He instructed the girls to begin kneading what little they had. And when placed in the oven, the small amount that they had rose above the trough as though they had kneaded a large sack of flour. On another occasion, the church ran out of wine and the cask was broken. St. John asked them to pour the remaining wine into another cask that was almost empty. And to their amazement, that cask kept drawing for days and days. When Father Solinus Casey ran out of bread to feed the poor, he asked the brothers to pray a single Our Father, and then instructed them to go to the kitchen. When they arrived, they found a man carrying in a little truckload of food. The brothers helped the man to unload, and the room was filled with bread. When the man looked back at the amount, he could not believe that it all came off of his truck. Blessed Anne Maria went to the church of St. Paul outside the wall to complain to the Lord that she had no more bread for the poor. The Lord told her to go home, and she would find some. When she returned home, she found a letter containing enough money to buy all the bread she needed. St. Francis of Assisi had a beautiful miracle of multiplication. He had a malady of his eyes, and he had to go to see a physician. Having received the letter from the doctor, St. Francis set out. His fame had preceded him, and on nearing the city, such a vast throng emerged that he had to turn aside into a small church about 2 miles off. Citizens, knowing that he was in the church, pressed forward with such fervour that the surrounding vineyard was entirely overrun and the fruit was devoured. The priest got angry, but St. Francis assured him that he would have his quota for making wine. And he did. At the end of that season, he brought in more fruit and created more wine than in normal previous years. Our God is an awesome God and a great provider. All we have to do is pray and have faith. God bless, my friends.